Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and today I want to talk about Child Emperor. Now, Child Emperor is slowly been losing his mind because of all the amount of crazy amount of work that he's been forced to do for the Hero Association in order to keep them afloat, in order to find out the secrets that's happening, in order to find out, how they're associated to the Monster Association, in order to find out about the whole secret dealings that they've been doing, the monster selling that they've been doing, all the crazy shit that the Hero Association has been doing underground. And he's just been working himself to the bone. Now, this kid is like 9, 10, 11. He's a little kid, but literally, Child Emperor is his name, or was his name. And, so he's losing it a little bit, and you can see it in his face. I think the thumbnail I'm using should have a picture of him kind of looking crazy. And the poor kid, man, seems like the only responsible adult, even though he's the youngest person in the freaking group. And I think it's kind of displayed by, I don't know if it's mistranslations, but I feel like it's on purpose, where he's a tutor, but he says his classmates instead of, my students or my pupils. And then he also says that, people are bullying him, but it's like, who's bullying you? Like, those kids don't know what that means either. You know what I mean? So I think he's just thinking people are laughing at him. I think he's just losing it, because even when he's talking to a zombie man, he thinks that zombie man is laughing at him when he's not. Like, nobody's laughing at him. So it's crazy. And he's like 11 anyway, so being a virgin is not a negative thing. Like, so it's really, really interesting. And obviously he's been working hard to like fortify the Hero Association and do things properly. And he sent like a proposal as my mask tells the Hero Association, like, he sent them a proposal explaining everything, and also kind of showcasing like what's wrong with the Hero Association, having solutions for it, everything. And none of them even replied to him. They didn't even read the shit. He got no answer, and that to him was the last straw. He was like, this place is freaking useless, I am leaving. And I cannot blame him. I think he made the right decision. Obviously, spoilers alert, if you read the webcomic, that maybe he didn't. But simultaneously, it showcases that the Hero Association is not this bright spot, this bright light of the world. It actually has its underground, dark and gritty and negative side. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it as well, is that like neither side is like necessarily good or bad. They're both in between. They both cause chaos for benefits. You know what I mean? They both are willing to take risks. Now, the Hero Association isn't outright as much as the Neo Association in terms of negative impact and actually creating the problem in that kind of way. But I can't blame Child Emperor, after assessing the situation, for him wanting to leave. Now, we got the guy with the one eye, and he basically is like, yeah, I'm finna just like finesse the Hero Association, fuck up on my mask, and so that way the Hero Association gets absolutely just digs underground, and that way I can rise up to a high ranking member, an executive member of the Neo Heroes immediately. And yeah, I feel for Child Emperor. I think him changing his name to Wild Emperor is interesting. I actually like the name Child Emperor a lot more, to be honest. Wild Emperor is fine, but I hope he gets his Child Emperor name back. Excuse me. It's not a big deal if he changes to Wild Emperor. They sound pretty similar. But I think it suits what his character is going through right now for him to change his name to Wild Emperor. So I'm okay with that. I'm excited to see what happens next. I like this deliberation here because I think it gives more details that I think the webcomic didn't quite give. So I really like this chapter. This was one of my favorite chapters in the past few chapters. Now, I'm quickly also going to touch upon the sales of One Punch Man and why I think it's dwindling. Manga-wise, I think it's dwindling for several reasons. Reason one is there's no schedule. Unlike, Jujutsu Kaisen or One Piece or every successful manga right now, it's bi-weekly or bi-monthly, and it's scheduled, right? When it's on a break, it's on a break. One Punch Man, you don't know when it's on a break. You don't know when it's going to be on. You don't know what day Murata's going to feel like posting. You have no idea. These guys just post whenever they want. Now, I think partially as well is because, one, I don't think one necessarily cares about selling One Punch Man. I think he's pretty happy with how much he's made. And like just by how his website used to be, I'm pretty sure it was free. So I'm pretty sure he always just like wrote just to write for passion. Same as when he wrote, Mob Psycho. I think success found him, but he wasn't necessarily looking for it. So I think that's why him and Murata have this working relationship of like, we kind of just drop it when you're done type situation. And obviously Murata is super, super busy. He's probably one of the most overworked mangakas on the planet. And I think he literally volunteered to do One Punch Man himself when he first came through. So that's intriguing, right? Considering a man that busy. But yeah, I think that doesn't help though. I think the fact that it's all over the place in terms of scheduling and stuff, nobody knows when to get it. It's hard to keep up with. I even went like a few months period where I didn't read it because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know when it was dropping, and I just forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? Until the anime season 2 was announced again, I was like, oh yeah, shit, let me catch up on One Punch Man manga, because the webtoon, we already know that's been sporadic. You know what I'm saying? But I think the webtoon has a more hardcore fan base than I think the manga does, just because we've been reading it for a lot longer than since the mangas exist, before the manga's inception. So yeah, I think that's really all it is. I think it's a matter of like scheduling, and also the redraws don't help. There's so many redraws, so you might have read the wrong version of some shit without knowing you read the wrong version of some shit if you didn't know there was redraws. So it's that also doesn't help. I don't know if they go through an editor or if him and one talk, or what happens between like one and Murata before the chapter gets posted. But there hasn't been redraws anymore for quite some time, thank God, because I hated the Monster Association. I hated the arc only because of the redraws, because I like sometimes I read a chapter, okay, this is what happened, then I come back, oh, it's changed, and then I go back and I'm like, oh my God, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it was just nerve-wracking. No, the redraws did make the story better, but you have to kind of go back and read it through again, because reading it in real time was a horrendous experience. And I think that's another thing that contributed to it falling and waning down. Also, Garo's fight finishing, because I think Garo regained a lot of interest and momentum as well. But yeah, that's what I think anyway. It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God.